emotions. All the modern scientific technology, all the things that science has produced, all that has been produced to satisfy the emotions. This is why the scientists even made weapons which are so dangerous that if we begin to fight using these weapons, the whole earth will come to destruction. And all this is because the human beings want to protect themselves and they want to destroy the enemies, and so there are wars. Even all the religions are fighting with one another. So this kind of behavior is because people are dominated by emotions and not by reason. It is only as we begin to evolve further that the human intelligence begins to become aware of the problem of life. And the problem of life is that however much we struggle to exist, we are bound to be growing old, falling sick and dying. This is the teaching of the Buddha. It was the Buddha who evolved to the highest point, the highest level. And that is the meaning of becoming a Buddha. Buddha means the awakened one. Awakened from sleep. Because we are dreaming. And the dream is about existing. We think we are existing. It is like a machine that begins to think that the machine is a living person. But in actual fact, there is no person inside. Now, if we look at a television, and we see people talking or singing or dancing, do we think that there are people inside that box? Even children know that there are no people inside that box. Although we see people speaking or dancing or singing, so in the same way, when you see me here, seated here, when you see me talking, and when you hear me talking, are you thinking that there is some person inside my head or my body? There is no such person inside. It is also like a TV. This is what the Buddha pointed out. There are no people in the world, although we think there are people. We are all like machines. And there is no reason to become selfish. There is no reason to defend ourselves or to gratify ourselves. It is only when we have fully realized this that all suffering comes to an end. This is what the Buddha saw as he evolved to the highest level and woke up from the dream of existence. So if we want to bring all suffering to an end, the only thing we have to do is to start evolving. Long time ago, I was in New York and I came across a very interesting board. Some huge picture that was advertising something. And in that picture, there was a monkey. And under the picture was written, "Keep evolving." So that is what we have to be really doing. We have to keep evolving. And the evolution here is not a biological evolution. It is a psychological evolution, which is the evolution of the mind. And the evolution has to take place not unconsciously like biological evolution. Biological evolution took place unconsciously. We don't even know about it. But this psychological evolution has to take place consciously, because it is the evolution of consciousness itself. We have to become conscious of the problem of life. It is this problem of life that the Buddha explained to us in the form of the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths, it's an explanation of the problem and its solution. The problem is that we are suffering. We are not even fully aware of our suffering. And we are not interested in looking at that problem. We want to forget about the problem. Even if we see it, we don't look at it. What is that problem? That we are going to die. Every person who is born is going to die. And if anyone says, I am going to die, then what will the mother or the father do? Don't talk about that. Forget about it. Enjoy life. That means we are running away from the realities of life. As long as we run away from the realities of life, we'll never be able to solve that problem. When Prince Siddhartha, when he saw the realities of life, an old person, a sick person, and a dead corpse, he didn't look aside. He didn't try to forget about it. He looked at it straight and he began to think, this is a problem that all human beings, not only human beings, all animals, not only animals, even plants, and even inanimate things are subject to aging, sickness and death. Even this whole building is subject to aging, it becomes old and it is destroyed. And that is what is called the impermanence of life. Everything in the world is impermanent. It is what in scientific words we'll say